now I've moved into sort of areas of production and doing film soundtracks, and probably one of the reasons I'm sitting in front of this microphone is I have a new single
You certainly
that
do.
I put together.
Tell me all about it.
Well,
And is this completely new? You
Oh,
said
yeah.
very at the start, didn't you, that you were talking about when you were young, you were doing some writing.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah. I've
actually,
always written.
you have all the way through your career. So you've worked for a lot of other
Yeah.
people.
Well, it's
You've
just-
played with lots of different bands, but actually behind the scenes, you've been doing your own stuff too.
That's where it came from, was the fact that I just realised that because I'd been doing all this crew work and sessioning, and so I was sessioning for people like Willie Nile, the US singer, and I was doing a drum tour for him, and I suddenly sort of thought to myself, I haven't done anything of my own for ages, and the initial idea was I was going to do a solo single,
Yeah.
and just and I love vinyl. I'm a massive vinyl buff, so I thought I want to put out a single. When I was sort of practicing the various parts, I was drumming like Ed Graham from The Darkness.
Yeah.
He was a really good friend of mine, and I wasn't doing it as good as he'd do it. I was trying to get that boom crack thing that Ed is just. Ed doesn't even believe that he's one of the
but
great
he's a
British
real-
rock drummers,
he's a
but
rock
he is.
through and
He's
through,
an
isn't he?
amazing drummer.
Yeah.
He's so tasteful and so powerful and
Yeah.
solid. And in the end, I just said to him, would you mind playing on something for me? And we had to run it past the Darkness management and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, they said, yeah, as long as you don't use the logo, he can do it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I got Ed to do it, and I thought, okay, so that leaves me and Ed. I don't want it to look like it's a duo.
No.
And then I also realised that actually I don't want to sing. No one needs to hear that, really. I do backing vocals, but I don't want to do that. And myself and Amy Conradine had been talking about doing a project together, but we hadn't put anything into effect. So I sent her the demo with me singing on it, and she said she really liked it. I said, well, do you want to do the single? She said, yeah, great. So then it seemed a bit odd that I'd just be playing guitar and bass.
Yeah.
So I said to Glenn one day, I said, do you mind doing the bass? And he just immediately said, yeah, I'll do
cool
it.
dude.
So, I went into the studio with Ed and Amy, and we rattled down the drum parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back later to do guitars and vocals, and then I took the whole lot to Glenn's house, and he loaded it up into his machine, he did the bass. And it was mixed by Jim Lowe, who's
Yeah.
had 5 number ones and a Grammy nomination.
Yeah, can't get better.
And then it was mastered, just to finish it off, mastered by John Davis, who I've always loved seeing his name on the back of things, because John Davis mastered lots of things like White Lies. He did all the remasters he did the Led Zeppelin remasters, for instance, but he did Lana Del Rey, and just like,
Yeah.
he's just got such a brilliant ear to bring out the best in a finished, mix of something. And so I'm really happy that every step of the way this single has been built with friends.
Yeah.
And everyone, even the front cover's been done by a Norwich artist called Simon Pritchard. And even before I met Simon, there's a rehearsal place called Earth Studios, and that's where I often go. And his paintings are in there, and I always thought they were great, but I never knew it was Simon Pritchard.
Oh, right, okay.
And then, sort of through a friend of a friend, as it were, I met Simon finally. And I always just thought, well, I'd like him to do it.
Wow,
I'd really like him
amazing.
to paint it. And so there's no aspect of, even the guy that's putting the single out on the record company, I was introduced to him via going to a friend's birthday party. So it was like,
All fortuitous.
yeah, everyone knows each other. So what I
Yeah.
love about this is it's not cynical in any way or a money-making exercise. I just want it to be there.
Authentic,
Yeah.
it's true, it's from the heart.
But it's really good 3.5 minute anthemic rock and roll. Ed's drumming makes
Yeah, sure.
you play
Yeah.
hard and heavy.
Yeah.
And Amy's a very
Yeah.
strong lady to have at the front and
Yeah.
that, and amazing voice, but an attitude that you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of. And she's great.
Love
She's
it.
so pretty. It's so weird because it sort of belies what she looks
Yes.
really sweet and cute, but I wouldn't want to cheese her off.
She'd have had herself in a barred brawl.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So for a year and a half or so, I had no idea how I was going to do this and that. And then, like I say, I went to this party, met a lady called Nellie, Nellie Pitts. She runs a sort of internet shop for bands
Right.
and what have you. And she said, I think my friend Chris Topham might like this. He runs a record company called Plain Groovy, and they've got. I knew Plain Groovy got people like Chris Difford from
Yeah,
Screes and
Screes.
stuff on there,
Yeah, sure.
and that they'd done a Spiz Energy single and stuff like that. So sent the MP3 off. He genuinely said, "This is the most exciting track. Put it out for you."
Wonderful. So
And
when
so-
is this all coming out then? This
Can't
sounds
give you a
exciting.
proper release date, but I do know like the sleeve's done and the text for the sleeve is done.
You're
Now I'm
nearly
sending
there.
it to Chris. I guess there'll be a waiting list at the pressing plant, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't late August, maybe something
Brilliant.
like that. But just keep
Keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out. It's going to be big. Well, do you know what, Dave? It's been absolutely wonderful. It's always lovely spending time with you anyway.
Indeed.
It really is. And you've got so many great stories to tell.
Oh, there's tons more.
And there are tons more. So we will do this again. We will do this again.
Let's do a
But
part
do you
two.
know what? Good luck with the what's a vinyl you said there? Is it a whole
It
album
is.
or is it a single?
No,
What's
it's a
going-
vinyl. A
Okay.
double. It's the name of the band is the Venus Reaction.
Okay.
Which I got from a friend in America. Introduced me to a guy who I found out was a psychiatrist, and he said that psychiatrists have slang terms for issues that people have, and if someone's been sent a bit odd because of love.
Okay.
Anything like, you know,
Yeah.
either a breakup or they've met someone
bunny
and their
baller.
brain just takes a holiday. They call it the Venus Reaction.
Is that right? Oh, I
Amongst
love
themselves.
That. I love that.
And I like
It's
that.
the planet of love, isn't
And the
it,
track
Venus?
is called Crashing Up.
Brilliant.
And it's a real cool track. And I co-wrote it with a girl who was 16 at the time called Chelsea Riley. And me and Chelsea wrote a few songs together, but that one really stood up. And
this is-
and it's a real sort of it's an empowering message of
And it's
not
gonna
letting
be big.
people give you any I don't
Any
know
buck.
Yes, I say that.
Well, good luck with it, Dave. It's
Thank
going to
you
be
very
wonderful,
much.
and we'll have another chat when it's number one around the world.
in my house.
In your house. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Thank
You
you.
speak soon.
It's-
Okay, take care.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Do you dance